Hi, today I am going to show you how I have made this automatic night light. The switching action is controlled by an NPN transistor. The emitter of this transistor is grounded. The LDR is connected in between the base and emitter terminals of this NPN transistor. Now the load, which is the LED, is connected across the power rails and the collector of this transistor through a current limiting resistor. It's time to connect the biasing resistor, which is of high resistance, in this case typically 100 kilo ohm. Let us transfer this circuit onto a breadboard. Let me connect an LED panel to this circuit. This circuit does not drive high current loads. Here again we are using the same NPN transistor, which is BC547, connecting the LDR in between the base and emitter terminals of the NPN transistor, connecting the biasing resistor in between the base and power rails. It's time that this NPN transistor drives the base of a PNP transistor. The collector of the PNP transistor drives the load, and the emitter is actually connected to the power supply. It's time to connect the circuit on a breadboard. Let me check if this circuit works. I have now made this circuit on the perf board and testing for continuity. As you are still watching this video, let me explain the working of this circuit. As you all know, the transistor works as a switch between the collector and emitter terminals, and this switch is actually controlled by the current through the base terminal. Whenever sufficient amount of current passes through the base of the NPN transistor, the switch is turned on, or there is a connection established between the collector and emitter terminals of the transistor. It is dark, the LDR offers a very high resistance. When it is daytime, the resistance of this LDR is low. During the dark time, the LDR offers high resistance, and the current passes from the power rails into the biasing resistor. Now it has two paths, one into the LDR and one into the transistor. As the LDR is offering high resistance and the current always chooses a low resistance path, the current passes into the NPN transistor, thereby switching it on and establishing a connection between collector and emitter terminals, and thereby driving our load. And during daytime, the LDR offers low resistance and the current is actually grounded. Let us see the working of this circuit. The PNP transistor switches on when the base is low or grounded. The NPN BC547 transistor drives the base of the PNP transistor. Whenever it is dark, the LDR has high resistance and hence switches on the NPN transistor. The base of the PNP transistor is directly connected to the ground, and hence switching on the PNP transistor. When the PNP transistor switches on, the load is driven. There is a connection formed between the emitter and collector terminals of this PNP transistor.